swept since '89, and CP3 finished last night's game with 37 points on 14 of 19 shooting and a perfect 9 for 9 from the line. So, Shannon, how much has this playoff run done to enhance his legacy?
It's helping because he's playing so well. Skip, he's not going along for the ride. Normally when guys get this age, Skip, they get on a team, they go along for a great ride. He won a championship, but he didn't really contribute. Chris Paul is the main reason that they're doing this. He's averaging 25 and 10. Skip, I didn't know he had that many points until I was, scrolling. I looked at it. I'm like, Chris Paul had 37? Like, damn. When? How?
Yep.
Now the third quarter, Skip, he normally gets it going. And that's been their takeoff for the Suns. Every third quarter, whatever lead they got, they expand upon it. Going into the fourth quarter, they got double-digit leads, and the Nuggets were never able to catch up. Chris Paul, Skip, he was getting his dribble. He goes to his right, and he elevates, and that mid-range was unstoppable. But I guess the analytics
guy... Does he really elevate?
Yeah, he elevates, Skip. I mean, because he jumping, he elevates for him.
Like maybe gets 4 inches off the floor?
Nah, he elevates. Chris Paul elevates. I'm like, damn, look at CP3. But, the analytics guys going to say, well, Chris, if you really want to be special, you should do that, go beyond the three-point line. Chris said, no, I'm fine right here. Skip, 14 of 19, 9 of 9. Now, I'm not surprised by the 9 of 9 because he did lead the NBA in free throw percentage.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised by that.
No.
But for him to play the way he's playing at his age, Skip, because a lot of people had written him off. Man, he can't. The injuries seem like every time we get to a playoff run, something happens. Chris Paul said, I don't want to hear nothing about no injuries. Because have y'all seen what happened to me in my playoff career? I got a hamstring, I hurt my shoulder, I twisted my ankle.
Yep.
Something was always going on. So I ain't crying for AD. I ain't crying for Jamal Murray. I wish them speedy recoveries for the next season, but it's about time my team have some good fortune and everybody else understands what I've been going through when I've been banged up. But Skip is helping a lot. Now, he ain't catching magic. Mike Malone is a prisoner of the moment, Skip. Arguably, he's the great. No, he's not. You ain't arguing with nobody. Ain't nobody ever gonna say Chris Paul is better than Magic Johnson. I'm not finna get, and I think he's played unbelievable these playoffs. But there weren't very many playoffs in Magic's career that he didn't play well.
Yep.
Even if you just take Magic his first playoff run, that's enough to keep Magic Johnson in the #1 spot, Skip. Because I don't think people realize what he actually did.
Yep.
Played all 5 positions. Now, he can play, Skip, you hear it all the time. Well, he can guard all 5 positions. He can play all 5 positions. I don't need somebody to tell me that Magic could do that because I saw him do it. It was tape delayed, I saw it the next day, but I saw him do that.
Yep.
So for me, Chris, this is greatly enhancing. Now, if you really want to cap it off and possibly get into that top 5 point guard, my top 5 for what it's worth, he capped this off with a championship, Skip, regardless of who he goes through and who might be nicked up. Because 10 years from now, ain't nobody going to remember it. Because people don't remember that Magic hamstring and Byron Scott's hamstring fell off the bone when they lost to the Pistons.
I was there.
Nobody cares, Skip. Nobody 5 years from now is going to remember that the Kansas City Chiefs started 4 backups in the Super Bowl. All they know, the Bucks won.
I don't remember that right now.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how it works, Skip. That's how it works. Nobody cares about injury, who was hurt. All they know is if CP3 and them were to finish this thing off, the way we view him will be completely different.
First of all, Michael Malone is speaking post-game just to keep his job. So he's dismissing his team as they quit, they're soft, and then he says Chris Paul's better than Magic Johnson. So it's like excuse, another excuse. He did coach Chris at New Orleans early on. He was an assistant on those teams.
Right.
So he does have some connection with him, so I appreciate that part of it. I have been hugely impressed with Chris, more than ever impressed with Chris Paul. But all he has put himself in position to make a huge statement.
Yes.
Because now he's right where he needs to be with the NBA. He's gotten the NBA's
all
attention.
that's going to be on him.
Yeah, it's all there for you in the conference final and, with any luck for them, in the NBA Finals.
Correct.
Which would be his first.
Yes.
So he has a chance to make his legacy. There's also a chance you would continue to break your legacy if you don't come up huge the way you just did. So let's keep this whole playoffs in some perspective. What happened right on cue in Game 1 against the Lakers at Phoenix? He got hurt. He always gets hurt. And we're like, well, here we go again.
Yes.
And it was weird because he got some stinger in his shoulder, but you'd think it just came and went.
Right.
But it seemed to linger.
Right. It stayed for a couple of days.
It stayed for a couple of games. And so the first game, he wasn't very good even before the stinger came. And then in game 2, he was pretty pathetic. And game 3, he didn't do much. Finally, in game 4, he came up bigger because it looked like he got
the 48 hours recovery.
Yeah, and plus he started to trust that I'm really okay. I can actually shoot the basketball the way I used to. And he had 18, 3 rebounds, and 9 assists in game 4, which was a big turnaround game for them because they won it after you guys had won back-to-back.
Because that tied the series up.
That tied the series up. And then here he went and had just okay numbers in game 5 and 6. He was 9, 4, and 6, 8, 2, and 12. He did have 12 assists in the closeout game, but not 37 points, right? So there's nothing. So here's what he averaged against your Lakers in 6 games. 9 points, 4 boards, 8 assists.
Right.
Well, those
That's
aren't
ho-hum numbers.
They're ho-hum. They're not
Skip, those are numbers you expect from a 36-year-old.
Okay.
Not 25 and 10, shooting 63% from the field, 6 of 8 from 3, and 22 and 22 from the free throw line.
Okay, and we can attribute much of it to his bum shoulder or whatever it was, but he shot 39% from the floor in those 6 games.
Right.
And he was 2 of 10 from 3. Okay, well, that's not beyond Magic Johnson kind of numbers.
No, stop.
But here he goes. And here comes the Nuggets. And to your point, Michael Malone and staff never could quite figure out how to defend the pick and roll because Ayton would come out and pick for CP3 and get him. He would pick over here so that he could come off with his right hand. Because if you let him go right-hand dribble and get to the elbow, that's all he needs to do. If he gets one step on you and gets to the elbow, you're done.
Yeah, he's going to elevate and shoot it.
He's going to make that shot because he's got that little, it's somewhere between a 15 and 10-foot jump shot.
Yeah.
And it was an extinct shot for point guards. It just is prehistoric. Like nobody even tried to shoot that shot. It just didn't fit. It didn't fit in the analytics because they'd say, well, just pull up and shoot a 3. Correct. 2, 2, 2, 2, and he's just 2-ing you to death with that little jumper. And he torched them. So look at what started happening in these 4 games against Denver. Game 1, he scores 21. Game 2, 17. Game 3, 27. And game 4, 37. Well, where did that come from?
With no 3s attempted.
No 3s attempted because he just said, I'm not going to do that
I
anymore.
don't need a 3. I don't need a 3.
So he averaged 26, 5 boards, and 10 assists. So to your point, 26 and 10 assists in 4 games of a sweep against the Nuggets. Should we blame some of that on the Nuggets? Maybe. Yeah. Maybe because they just didn't defend it.
Right.
I don't know why.
They have no guards.
Maybe they don't have somebody. Would Jamal Murray have been a better defender?
Jamal Murray can D with D up.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's an offensive guy. Skip, the only knock on Chris Paul is because you look at his resume in the regular season, it's impeccable. He led the league in assists several times, led the league in steals. He's an all-NBA offensive and defensive player.
His accolades are extreme.
The only thing against him is what? Lack of playoff success.
Yeah.
Okay, now he's having that even at the ripe age of 36.
Okay.
So this is going to go a long way with how once he hang up the shoes, because it looks like you hear reports that he's going to opt out the last year, $44 million, and want another 3 to 4 year deal. Probably going to get it. Probably going to get it, Skip. So when it's all said and done, we're going to look. Because if I'm not mistaken, the last guys that were 36 or older to have 37 points was Karl Malone and Kareem.
Yep. Okay.
So.
All right. So what do we see in 2018? He and James Harden got to the conference final.
Had Golden State's on the rope.
They had them on the rope. They're up 3 games to 2.
Yep.
And at the end of that 5th game, Chris, right on schedule, pulls his hamstring, and he's done for games 6 and 7. And you know the rest of the story. It got ugly.
Yep.
And that was the game 7 at Oakland, in which the Rockets, featuring James Harden solo, shot 7 of 44 from 3 and missed.
It's 27, 28 straight.
Okay. So that was the end of that.